Waiting for my screen to pop up here. Whenever I wear a white shirt, when I'm drinking coffee, I gotta be really careful. Go here. Close this. There we go. And we'll get started in a few minutes here. Let's give some time for everybody to log on. Anybody have good news? Anybody have a kid, a grandchild, a listing, an escrow? Nobody. Okay.
Well, I just closed an escrow 2 days ago or 3 days ago.
All right. Was that you, Roger?
Yes, yes.
Good job. Mailouts done. Let's go live here. Mailouts.
Let him break this, if you don't mind.
I already got Rudy, Evie, Laura, Fernando, Chris, Amanda, Laura, two Lauras. Oh shit. Claudia, Karina, Belinda. Sometimes I chop up names. I'm so sorry. Let me collaborate here. Miss Ibarra. Miss Ibarra.
Hi, Robert. You having a good day today after yesterday afternoon?
Dodgers will win tomorrow. I'm not worried about it.
Why are you ragging on him, man? Rudy D.
We got some
He's a Dodger
carnitas.
hater.
We got
he's a
no, we
Dodger
got
hater.
some no, I don't care. We got some carnitas on the line.
Damn.
Yeah. And a 12 pack.
Carnitas on the line.
Oh,
All right.
yeah, and a 12 pack. I forgot.
Hey, we're on a webinar over here, so in a moment I'll post it so you can log on if you want to join us on the webinar. All right, let's get an overview going on here, everybody. So before I get started, I'm going to have my guest Brandon, which I was like a kid in a toy store, and I brought him on, and he showed me some of the products that he had. So I'm upgrading the mail out letter that I currently do. I had to, because when I saw his stuff, it was like, oh my God. And then Brandon, I didn't tell you, from there, I called up my Google provider, and I didn't realize how behind my ways. I preached to everybody, update your Google. Well, I didn't. I had, but not to where it needed to be. So immediately I hired those guys, and they're doing the stuff that I need to get done. But let me share my screen with you. And over here, I'm over here live. Let's see, follow me. Right now, when a lady comes on Instagram, she'll post it so you guys can join us on the webinar. All right, so I'm going to share my screen with you all here. Let's go real quick. And I'm going to give you a quick overview so you know where I'm at. Okay. So first of all, let's all welcome Brandon. Everybody say, welcome, Brandon.
Welcome, Brandon.
What up, Brandon?
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you.
Brandon, there was no excitement in that crowd. Let me get off camera here and let's do it one more time because what Brandon's going to give you is some good information. You guys can take it back. Let's welcome Brandon one more time. Welcome, Brandon.
Welcome, Brandon.
Welcome, Brandon.
Better, damn.
Beautiful.
I'll email you back today, Brandon.
All
That was a
right, there you
beautiful
go.
song. Thank you.
So here's the goal for everybody. We need more leads, okay? More seller, more clients to assistant to help. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm updating my system once again. My letter that I utilize, it's still effective. Okay. It's a conversation starter and it does not give the client the property value, but it does send them to my landing page. So what I'm going to do is Brandon's going to show you when I contacted him, I'm now adding probates, pre-foreclosures, and most likely to list in the city of Whittier. Okay, because that's the city that I'm in. So when I spoke to Brandon, he's going to give me the data, and it's very reasonable, by the way. It's almost less expensive than Thank I O, the one that I'm currently using right now. So with that said, we updated the letter, and he's going to show you the ones that he's going to be doing for me. Actually, at 10 o'clock, we're going to go live with the members that are the implementation, and we're actually going to go through the farm, design it, and pick it out. But right now, more importantly, is the conversation starter when I get these pieces out. It's going to give them the value that's projected, and I can adjust it to wherever I want, low or high. They deal with wholesalers, but in the conversation, I'm going to change this and modify it and do it to the residential. Okay. It also is going to send them to my landing page. Okay. So from that, with that said, here's what I want to tell you. When you get the farm that he's going to give you, you want to also load this into your CRM that you currently have that I gave you, and you want to email. Careful on the texting, because if you text the data, there's a really good chance you're going to be shut down. When you email the data, put it in a system called Spam Checker. It's going to check to make sure that that email is going to go through if you send out more than 15, 20, 30. Okay, it'll have spam check. Let me say hi to these people. All right. In a moment, I don't know where Lily's at. We'll go ahead and put the link so you can join us down here. So with that said, with the CRM, you want to make sure you get the email out because you want to attack in multiple ways. When he gives you the data, you also want to get on the phone and call them. And sometimes when they skip trace the data, it's not accurate, okay? But it's close enough. Sometimes you may get a relative, or you yourself may want to go on True People Search and pull up to see if there's additional names or someone that they know, and then contact that person. I got a call last night from a lead that the number was incorrect, but I went on True People Search and I pulled up the husband and I contacted the husband last night at 7:30. We're working on an appointment. Okay. So you want to use your CRM, call the client from the CRM because it's going to record the call when you have it. When you capture these leads, you want to direct them to your landing page. And the landing page is what we already gave you. It's in the system. So it's all ready to go. Plus, Brandon also has the CRM. We were talking about it, and he told me to use my CRM, but he's going to bring the leads my way. So you need the landing page. It's already part of the CRM system that you have with us. It will automatically auto-populate into our CRM so we can start the calls. And branding, I'm showing you this, Brandon, because you're going to start doing my stuff. And I want you to understand how I work this. So for our members, they have the same ability. Now you're able to communicate and speak the same language, okay? From the CRM, guys, very important. Brandon's going to bring you the leads. He's going to narrow down the data. He's going to tell you what's to get the best data. But it is up to you to follow up. It's got a lot of realtors will say, nah, the leads suck. The leads suck. And it's not the leads, it's always the realtor who sucks. Okay. Because when the client, you're talking to the client and he's talking to you, you're not listening to the client. And he's basically telling you, I got to sell my house. But the client, the agent, is not paying attention. All right. So what I've done with that is and you all know this, that's how I came up with this design, the net sheet. Because when you're sitting in front of the client and you're running the numbers, you're covering what their distribution is going to be. They're going to qualify for another home. They're going to tell you they want to sell it to an investor because it needs too much work. You're going to tell them how much it's going to cost to repair it. It basically answers all the questions before they're going to even ask them. And then they're going to tell you, well, I'm going to sell my home, but how much is it going to, what is my payment going to be on something else? And that's what we're going to do here. Now, once Brandon is done, if you need help, okay, if you need help, Lily will help you. Okay, call Lily and she'll set you up. With that said, Brandon, I want you to give them the information. When I was talking to you, we were actually talking, I think it was Friday night for about an hour and a half. And it was only supposed to be a 15-minute conversation. And we were going back and forth and back and forth. And I had another person that was going to speak today to all of you, but I thought Brandon would be the perfect fit. So, Brandon, please take it away. Lily, we got some people on Instagram. Can you? Oh, you did. Thank you. With that said, Brandon, take it away and let me give you the ability to share the screen. And if you don't mind, everybody, would you mind welcoming Brandon once again so he can pumped up and give you guys all the information you need? Go ahead.
Welcome,
Welcome,
Brandon.
Brandon. Welcome.
Welcome.
Mm.
All right, Brandon, you got about
Beautiful.
75 people on here. You better
love it.
perform, Brandon. Dude, you
I
got an
love it.
audience.
I love it, man. Yeah, if it was in person, I'd probably be, probably be puffed out, man, full red. So it's nice that it's a webinar, man. It's good to be able to meet everybody, to kind of understand what you guys are all doing, and really to see that everyone here is looking to take the next step in their market. I was actually talking to Angel about that, taking the next step as opposed to being comfortable. The aspect of realtors, not always doing the best that they can or having the best interest. And obviously nowadays, what we realized with these conversations between me and Angel is that direct mail has become the number one marketing tool for almost all investors, and can allow so many people with the right tools to take those next steps to become a better investor, a better wholesaler, or even just a better realtor overall, right? So my goal here is to really show you guys what shines and what doesn't, and break down how I'm able to apply all of our services to your guys' business, and how we can essentially, grow your business as a whole in real estate. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, just kind of provide you guys with a little bit of a PowerPoint, and then please feel free to cut me off at any time. I've actually spoke to a couple people already on my calendar, and I want all of you to just feel welcomed. Ask as many questions as you like. If you see something that's confusing or you want me to backtrack, let me know and I can go over those things. So I'm going to go ahead and share this now. There we go. All right, can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that. Should be a little bit better. All right, and you guys can see this? Just want to make sure.
Yes.
Cool, awesome. So I really just want to break down who we are. And overall, we've realized over time, let's say like the last 32 years, that we became the largest direct mail real estate print house, and that's massive. There's a lot of vendors and all types of companies that you can go to, that you can pay to focus on your marketing. And just like Angel said, some leads just naturally suck, right? You're putting all this money out, right? You're at least wanting to spend and invest, and you're not getting any form of return. But what we realized, if we focus on direct mail and just real estate, we can go through trials and errors and trial and tribulation, but tailor that to people's market over time, because we are tracing and tracking about 3.2 million pieces of mail a month. That's allowed us to really understand what's working in almost all markets and what's not working. And then when we can pivot away from that. So we strictly focus on real estate, and that's realtors, agents, lenders, brokers, along with your investors, your flippers, your wholesalers, almost anybody that's looking to invest in either a property or even land, or wanting to work with buyers or investors. So we do empower our customers with highly effective tools and strategies. Just like Angel said, we are going to do a lot of that legwork in the beginning. And really what you do is, you apply your expertise, everything you've learned as a realtor, you answer that phone when someone's going to call you on a mail piece, especially a check with an offer on it, right? That's much more enticing because it skips a lot of those normal conversations that you're going to have in the beginning, like, hey, who are you? You gave me a call, you're possibly wanting to sell my house for me, but I don't know who you are, right? That's just typical cold calling. When you send a mail piece, most people between the ages of 40 through 90 are going to spend time and open their mail. They want to see a name, they want to see a business. They also want to know who they're reaching out to and who's reaching out to them in terms of the possible purchase or acquisition of the home, right? So focusing on direct mail, we're able to empower the aspect of real estate and what we send out. And we've been able to do it over the course of 32 years now. And then our philosophy, I don't want to be like cheesy or corny, but as the largest REI direct marketing company in the United States, we do send and track millions of pieces of mail for real estate investors. We use that data to give our investors strategic advice about those specific markets. So what really comes to play here is we have a lot of meetings internally. As coaches, our goal is to be ahead of the market. It's kind of like logistics and supply chain. You have to remain ahead of the market to stay in business as opposed to behind. So our goal is to continuously focus on what's working. If we can trace and track everything throughout that process, it gives us a better understanding as to how to stay ahead because we know what's working and what's not. And we trace that through a system we have known as REI Complete, which I was talking to Angel about. Oh, go ahead. I didn't know if there was a question.
No, nobody asked.
Okay, cool. No worries. But what we have is a system called REI Complete. And then what we can do is trace and track each and every mail piece with a forwarding number on the mail piece that'll go to your phone number, right? If you're using a CRM or using Angel's CRM, right? So that you're able to essentially dial in so you can actually grow your direct mail business. And that's what clients are able to do in direct mail.
Good morning. Have a nice workout.
This allows you to scale entirely in direct mail as opposed to cold calling, cold texting. You have to call so many people at a time to be able to possibly get a deal. Versus direct mail, a lot of it is just you answering the phone and then being able to track those call-ins, right? And then converting those leads. And then you'll understand or at least get a better idea as to what kind of conversion you're gaining from that. And then the science behind the deals, we have plenty to dive into, but I want to make this quick in terms of, how many different parts of our company there are. In terms of REI print mail, that's the largest one, right? That's where you get to work with a coach. You get to better understand your market in terms of mail, what's working and what's not, who's responding, the demographics, the geographics as well. And in terms of demographics, understanding who's going to be a worthy lead or worthy mailer and not. We don't want to just take a guess in the dark. And unfortunately, in marketing, it's kind of looked at that way. But with direct mail, based on the data that we pull and building strategies around it, we're able to really figure out what to send out in those areas based on, whether you're in California, North Carolina, Texas, Michigan, all the way up to Hawaii. And then we have AccuText and AccuMailers. So I'm sure you guys have probably gotten these. Maybe some of you haven't, but I'm sure some of you have seen a mail piece with a picture of a house or a picture of land, right? That's AccuPix. It's basically a mailer where they take the Google Street View and then they implement that photo on the mail piece and then they send it to you. And it's basically asking if this is your house, sending it to the owner of the home. And then you have AccuText where they can text, 1234 cash, whatever it might be. And that text will then go to the linked phone number of maybe the VA or the person that's handling all of those phone calls and text messages. It's just a quicker way for the seller to actually respond via mail without actually having to call and have maybe a 10, 15, 20-minute conversation. And then REI Smart Data, that's how we're pulling data, right? So we bought REI Smart Data from Kent Clothier a couple of years ago. He's actually also based in California and Florida. He's a really big real estate mogul, and he plays a big role with our company. It was known as REI Vault. We then changed it to REI Smart Data, and that allows us to remain ahead of the market because we're always polling, we're always learning, and we're always playing with new filters. We've got about 40 or 50 plus based in your area, just like the amount of beds, the amount of baths, how much equity, right? How many properties they own. It goes on and on. And we can really tighten that data down all the way to a neighborhood based on where you guys want to mail out to. Then we have REI Complete. REI Complete is a business in a box. So if there's a big chance where you guys are like, hey, we're ready for an influx in leads, we're ready for some more calls, we're ready for more responses and higher conversion, do you guys have a system that can implement that? We sure do. We have from REI Complete standpoint, we have a system that's about $397 a month, all the way up to $2,000. For most people, they pay the $397 because it's the easiest. Really what it is we do the legwork from tracing and tracking every piece for you. We record all your phone calls. We'll actually take a look at your KPI versus your ROI and how many mailers you're sending out a month versus how many responses. So then we can allocate and consolidate from there, try to figure out what mail piece was working best or creating that certain conversion, in that certain week or two. That's what's going to allow you to grow, is utilizing that platform for that price. So my goal here is not to sell you on it. My goal is really to get you guys to kind of see the light or the shine in direct mail. But if there's ever a time where you guys are growing, right? Your real estate business is growing and you're getting bigger and there's more, and you want to be able to put less sweat equity into it, we're able to apply ourselves and utilize those services. And then our approach campaign strategy, we have ongoing coaching. It's completely free. Ideally, the goal here is to work with anybody and everybody. So as you can see, you have like a general question, 15-minute strategy discussion, 30-minute, and a launch campaign, 60-minute. Those are all just subjective, right? We might be on a phone call for an hour and a half on a Friday night, and that's okay with me. And that's what I did with Angel, and I'm willing to do that 1,000 times. The goal here is just to better understand where you're at in real estate and if our services apply to you. Obviously, in this case, you guys are continuously growing your business. So direct mail would be a great strategy for you guys to utilize in your markets to then see an increase in deal flow. So we'll have regular campaign meetings at all times to ensure you're staying on target, right? So that looks, like a month-to-month call or a quarterly call or even a week-to-week, just depending on how hands-on or hands-off you want to be. And then we have plenty of Zoom meetings and screen sharing for seamless collaborations on list building, campaign planning, and more. I'll actually show you here briefly kind of what Angel and I did when it came down to breaking down basically an order summary or an invoice for mail. And one, we have coaching calls, two, consistent relationship building, three, good advice and honest advice. I really want to put this out there that the big difference between us is, we kind of know what works and what doesn't. So we know what spend that looks like. We know how much mail you actually need to pump out in certain areas and what pieces you need to use. So we never want to steer anybody the wrong way. Our biggest thing is being as honest as we can about people, their markets, what industry they're in, what they need to do or how much they need for those certain areas in order to get, let's say if somebody wakes up and wants to be a millionaire, it's going to take a lot of spend, right? You guys all understand, it's not going to happen overnight. These things do take time, but that's the best thing about us is that we're able to provide you with honest advice. So we treat your money and your business and your marketing like it's our own, right? Because we don't want to be an order taker. The last thing we want to do is make you feel like you're working with just some small vendor. You talk to us and then you never hear from me again. That's ideally not the image that we want. As coaches, we want to apply ourselves the best way, almost like an expert throughout time in a quicker process.
Hey, Brandon, I'm gonna pitch something here real quick.
Yeah.
Many of us will use mail houses, right? And we were having this conversation. Sometimes we got to trust that that mail house is going to send out our piece. And Thank IO, and as you and I were having a conversation, they are a broker, and then they send it out to little print houses. And I got to pray and hope they're going to get it out. You guys do it
Mhm.
all yourself in-house. You guys are a multi-million dollar company at the end of the day. And I got Johnny in here. Johnny can vouch for the same thing. So what I'm going to say to everybody, what Brandon is telling you right now, it's real, guys. You're not going to get scammed. They're not going to take your mail. They're not going to take your money and not send it out. And he's going to tell you in a moment. I just wanted to pitch in there. You also send out a control piece. I never told the mail houses. I would sneak mine in there, but you told me you're going to put in a control piece, but I can still, in my address, include a control piece if I choose to. I just wanted to pitch that for you, Brandon.
No, 100%. You're totally accurate on that. And I want to thank you for bringing that up as well. And he's definitely valid, guys, right? Our goal is to do everything in-house and be as streamlined as we can, right? The last thing you want to do is go to a store for your meat, go to another store for your salt, go to another store for your pepper, go to another store for your cheese. The aspect of that is that if you come to us, you're going to get the data, you're going to get the mail, you're going to get the tracing and tracking, you're going to get the coaching, you'll get your KPIs, right? You have everything in house. We have a 25,000 square foot building. We have went from one little office to now 6 offices in a plaza, right? So we're continuously growing. We went from starting out in a garage with 2 people in the early 90s to now, again, a 25,000 square foot mail house with about 80, 85 employees, right? And the growth is insane. It's incredible because we've been able to do so much. We figured out direct mail. We figured out how to make it work. The last thing we want to do is outsource, just like Angel said. When you outsource, it's a little bit tougher because you truly are going through a middleman to then get to your mail. I'm seconds away, or I'm just a call away, right? And ideally, I can provide you with almost anything that you would need in terms of what's going on in the mail house, when your mail dates are, seeing your mail piece in person. So when we send out your mail, you get a seed mailer. I don't know if anyone has heard of that before, but we want to send you a mail piece with the mail that went out. So when it gets in your mailbox, it's already landed in the state of California, right? Wherever you're at. Now, granted, we do have a pretty good relationship with NCOA and CAS, and that's a part of the post office. If anything was to ever go south, which is very, very rare, we don't see that happen here. We can also get tracing and tracking numbers with the post office to figure out exactly what happened. Now, even with first class and pre-sort marketing, we still see a drop off of or a drop date of 5 to 10 days, right? So after you place the order with us, things are already going out the door, which is pretty nice. I see some questions in here. I do wanna answer these. Yeah, I know the QR. I know you said the QR code doesn't work. Oh, were you talking about Angels? Okay. And then,
No, they were talking about yours because you had a QR code when you first presenting yours.
yes,
And
yes. I'm getting a new QR code created for you guys, but I have a link at the end. As I know some of you guys were still in that call, so I'll get to that because I still have some goodies for everybody. Our April will connect to high level. And so when you're saying connecting to high level, are you referring to a CRM, Edwin?
Yeah,
Okay. And are you utilizing that CRM for your real estate business?
yes.
Mm-hmm. 100% can connect to that. Yeah, we can attach a forwarding number, right? Our number in the mail piece, so we can still track everything for you. And that'll link to your phone number through high level, the CRM that
Oh,
you're.
okay. Okay. That sounds good.
Yeah, it's awesome. How quickly can you get mailers out? Pretty quickly. We can do anywhere from 3 days out the door, as in 3 days from today, all the way up to 7 to 8 days. It's subjective and it's completely up to you when you want mail to go out. Yours would go originally within 7 days, but we can do all forms of rushes. And REI Complete's meant to be more of a streamlined premium service. So REI Complete can get mail out as soon as 2 to 3 days, which is pretty nice.
hey, Brandon, I'm going to pitch this.
Mhm.
The difference. Someone asked privately. They asked me, is this better than Thank.io? I'm going to tell you, Thank.io, we don't have a human to speak to. It's all email, and trying to get a response back. You guys are actually available for a phone conversation, right?
100% all the time. It's funny when people call me, and just like our call angel, like our that we had till what 6:30, 7 o'clock at night. I tell clients every time, almost all of them, that you can call me at 2 in the morning if you just got done with a deal, right? Because I want to hear that you're getting deals. I don't care what time it is. I just want to know that the clients I'm working with are having success, right? Because then I know what I'm doing is accurate, right? And it's a routine system. If we work with efficient data, we can provide more educated guesses that are much better long term. So anytime you get a deal or it's a good call, I want to know about those things. I don't care if I'm on vacation. I don't care if I'm at the pool. I don't care if I just woke up or if I'm busy. I want to be able to communicate with as many clients as I can to better understand, and it helps. So we are here to do that. And that's the thing with Thank.io is a lot of it is email. And I also, can't tie down to the aspect of response rate, right? If you're talking to somebody in email, a business that you're working with, that you're providing money to, you probably want a better response if it's revolved around your direct mail business and deal flow in real estate. Frank, I see your question here. If only you had enough cash to spend on Google Ads or REI print mail, which would produce the best ROI? I'd love to actually have a call with you to go over that so that I can understand what you want out of Google Ads versus what you would like to see out of REI print mail. So I think that would be a great opportunity so I can give you the best advice possible there. Do you have a per piece plan? So we don't have a per piece plan, but ideally with per piece, our minimal, I think, is right around, I could probably do 200 minimal. And that's, I would assume you guys are probably in that range of mailing out a couple hundred or a couple thousand here and there. We should be able to do something like that. Long term, we're putting a new website together, which will be launched in the next couple weeks. We do want to implement a per piece plan, so you're able to do one-offs.
Hey, Brandon, here's a question for you. So for Thank.io, when you have to be a member, you got to pay them a monthly fee. Is that required here?
So there is no monthly fee at all. Everything we do.
You saved me $45. Thank you. All right.
So ideally, if you're paying $45 to do per piece, it would make sense to utilize us because everything in the front end is going to be free, right? The conversations.
No, it's a membership that I got to pay. if supposedly I'm going to get a discount. And don't get me wrong, Thank IO has been great for me for many years, but I'm always looking for new sources. And Johnny's the one that brought you to me. Was in a webinar, and actually it was me and Johnny and you and your team. So I'm glad you're telling all these folks this because I'm going to tell you right now, everybody. So I used to send out 40,000 pieces, 35 to 40, and then 55. I'm selling brand in this. But the world changed. Right now, we're back. Right now, a lot of realtors are leaving the industry because they can't adapt. They don't know what to do. And it's giving me more business. So when I saw this, my clientele that owns the majority of real estate are my senior citizens. They own so much real estate and they're the ones that look at mail. So me going back into the mail out business, for me, it is so effective because it's just going to give me more listings in the city of Whittier. I know that you're going to show them some examples, but I'm excited when you show them that. I'll leave that up to you.
No, I definitely want to, man. 100% want to blow some minds today. We've got some really cool stuff. Also, we have a mail piece that ties into election year, which I find it so funny with everything we see on the news. Not to bring anything up that's too political here, but I see one question here about what's your suggested approach on mailers for past clients. We actually have plenty, Carlos. We have done a lot of work with realtors and agents and brokers, and then also, franchises, right? A lot of Keller Williams teams, a lot of Coldwell Banker teams. So the goal here is to basically find a mail piece that you like and that we can provide in your area that you can utilize for your past clients. And then Reggie, see your question here as well. In addition to the $397 a month, what are we looking at for monthly mailers? So ideally, man, it's up to you. So kind of just like what Angel said in the beginning, how he's changing his data, right? Or he's allocating his mail towards stronger data that's able to be more worthy in terms of mailing, pre-probates, your pre-foreclosures, tax liens, tax delinquencies, people that are actually struggling or that may be in a house that they can't wholesale or sell or list. Ideally, we want to provide you with that within that $397 cost, right? So you'll have market exclusivity in your area. You'll have better data to mail out to. It's all trace and tracked. So monthly mailer cost-wise, we can definitely go over that. If you're open to scheduling a call, I can send you a full proposal. Todd, I definitely will show some examples. Data can be in XLSX or CSV, however you prefer on Excel. How many pieces to be effective? It just depends on the mail piece in your guys' area. Also depending on what you're going for. If you truly just want to be a wholesaler and then go in and list after, you can do that. Or if you want to reverse that, you can too. I'm sure some of you guys know Angel's process, right? He's got all these tools. He can go to a house, he can list, wholesale, novation, flip. I'm sure he can buy it out as well and do some owner financing, whatever it might be. But having those tools in your back pocket will allow you to decipher which route you want to plan so that you have the highest conversion. So Teague, I want to make sure I'm pronouncing that right. So the CRM for REI Complete, all of that with your data, premium mail, premium data will be $397 a month. Utilizing REI print mail just as a whole does not cost you anything. You can have calls with us how many times you want. We'll send you proposals, send you mail pieces, send you sample kits, whatever it is you really need. But if you need a premium service, that will cost. I can't give you the details on area exclusivity, right? So Roger, what we do is we send out mail to people that aren't receiving as many mailers. So as opposed to you just sending mail out to some owner occupied 50-year-old, he could have received 20, 30, 40 different mailers. We want to decrease that, right? So that it's not desensitized, right? Once you create a good mail piece based on your brand and business, whether you're wanting to do listings or wholesale, ideally the goal is to get you a great response, something that works for you so that you're able to convert one of those into a deal. So we'll send mail out to people who haven't received as much mail, much more premium based data. They're more than likely to call you because they haven't seen it 1,000 times. So that's the area exclusivity that we provide. And then we also have a limit as to how many people we put in those areas. So that's the great thing too, is you don't have to worry about, oh man, there's 5,000 other people doing mail here. No, it's actually you and 10 other people. So Reggie, I see here you raised your hand. If you have a question, go ahead, man.
Yeah, I just wanted to get a little clarification. So I know you said $397 a month.
Mhm.
Then I also heard that there's no monthly fee. Can you clarify that?
Yeah, it's on REI Complete that there's the monthly fee. That's $397 a month. You're getting a CRM. You'll get your premium data. And you'll have tracing and tracking as well of all the mail. And then instead of 8-day mail drop dates, so let's say place an order today, it takes about 7 to 8 days to get out the door. With REI Complete, it's roughly 2 to 3, even 4 at most.
So the subscription is $397 a month plus whatever mail pieces you want to send out.
Correct, yeah.
Thank you.
And that's it. So then REI print mail as a whole, everything is free until you just want to start getting mail out. That's about it. And then the cost of data that you are pulling, it really just depends. I like to cut everybody a deal, since people are new. So ideally, Tony, you just come to me and, if you're willing to have a call, let me know what kind of lead you're looking for. And really, based on a spend, because I want to be respectful of the cost there, I want to make sure I'm competitive with what you've actually pulled in the past so I can provide you good results. If you're interested in premium data and mailing only, that's totally okay. You do not need the CRM. I can still pull that premium data and then we can still mail to it, thus saving you, that $397 cost. It's a great question, by the way.
Which I'm going to add, everybody. So for the members that are on, what I did with our CRM is that, and this is what I was telling Brandon, with us, you have the Google Ads Manager to run the ads. You have the CRM, you have the landing page, and you have the social media. That's why I'm connecting with Brandon because now I'm going to add him as one of our affiliates to be able to bring you products on the mail. And this is what he showed me, and this is where I went crazy. By the way, Brandon, I did not realize that our our Zoom is maxed out at 100, and I didn't know that because every time we reach 100. I couldn't figure out why we want to go to 101, 102. They just told me I'm maxed out. I have like 15 people texting me. I can't get in. So you would have had, I think, probably about 110 people listening, 120, but they can't get in. So
Oh,
I'm gonna
man.
have to I'm gonna have to up my Zoom so next time I bring you on, we can have more people listen to you.
Yeah, and let them know too if you need me to send a video. I can do that, and I still want to give those people some leverage if they want to be able to get some goodies at the end of it. I definitely want to do that as well. And
Perfect.
tying into this is it, right? These are the mail pieces that I've put out there to Angel. And we have so much more, but these are some mail pieces with some of the highest conversions that we've seen across the whole United States, and including California very heavily.
And
Um,
and
go
this piece, Brandon, when I was talking to him, mine does not incorporate a projected value. This one you can add the projected value. And how can you, what did you tell me? I can decide 75, 100% of the value?
Yeah, 100% you can. So what is we'll send out a mail based on the market value. Right? So
I got to figure who that is. There we go. I got it. Patricia, we could hear you. I muted you. Go ahead.
let's say that you are targeting an area, right, or a neighborhood of a home or two that you just listed, and you want to send mailers to people in that area, and they're listable. Obviously, you won't send a mail piece with a low offer, right? And it's all a soft offer based on the pending visual inspection of the home, right? So ideally, nobody really knows the worth of the home until you walk it. Now, from a 30,000 foot view, we might have a really good idea. So what we can do is pull the accurate data, and we'll then scrub the internet at a rate of 10 to 20 times. So it's pretty quick. We're scrubbing every website possible, your Zillow, your Realtor, your Redfin, Trulia, and we're basically taking all the averages. So you have a low amount, an average amount, and a high amount of what you would offer based on the home, right? So let's say you're wholesaling and you're very, very, religious on just buying at 70%. Then at that point, you'd send an offer amount at 70% of the home, visual pending inspection. It's all soft, so none of this is real. So then it essentially is a foot in the door because it skips the beginning of that conversation of who are you? What are you sending me? What is this? They know who you are. They know it's a check. They see up above. It says that this is all pending a visual inspection of the home. Ideally, the goal is for you to walk it, possibly find some issues or some reasons that you can't give them 70% of the market value. And then at that point, you're just going down on price. And the whole goal with the soft offer check is to get them to commit to something. It's much different, right? Because people now, whether you're wholesaling or listing, everybody's getting a phone call to sell their house. Everybody. Some
Brandon,
people, go
I'm going
ahead.
to add because you are a wholesaler. That's their primary clientele.
Mhm.
What I didn't share with all of you is I'm modifying my letter to service a retail client. And then Claire asked, would a client feel this is a scam? No, guys, this is a conversation starter. All my business, I get 200 listing appointments every given year. Why? Because I always have a conversation starter. So what he has in here, I'm modifying my pieces, Brandon, and that's what I'm going to share. That's what we're going to work on at 10 o'clock. I cannot just show people that, and it's up to you. You can be looking for wholesale deals, but I'm looking for that person who needs to maximize their dollar volume. So we're going to modify what's on this card. Now you can keep it this way, but you're now going to become a wholesaler. I want to service the elderly who need help on selling their piece of real estate. So I'll say it one time. This is not a scam. It's going to get the attention of the homeowner to give you a call. Now you set your own rules on that $100. Your rules are going to be once they list, once it sells, you're going to set the rules. And that's what I teach on Tuesdays, how you're going to pay the $100. I also pay $1,000. And that's what I was telling Brandon. So some of my letters are going to be modified. He can also put on there the value of the house of what you're going to pay for. But for me, if I do that, and that's the conversation you and I are going to have at 10 o'clock, Brandon, I got to make sure that I need more people to raise their hand as opposed to scaring them away.
Right.
But go ahead, Brandon.
No, most definitely. You're right, man. You need more people to raise your hand for sure, as opposed to pushing them the way you want to keep them as close as you can. And that's what you can do with these mail pieces, right? These are not just designed to for low offers or wholesalers. These are also designed for plenty of realtors, agents, people who actually want to give somebody full retail or more. That's one of the best things about this mail piece, for instance. It says below you'll find an offer price based on comparable sales data in your neighborhood. Makes somebody feel good, right? Because then you've done a listing there, you know the market, you know the area, you're live, you've done it, so it gives you more reputability when you actually have a little bit. While the price is our best estimate, maybe high or low, we understand that the actual value may vary based on the condition. And that's great, right? Because a lot of the times, people that do sell their house, some that half two sides of the fence, half of the people don't know what it's worth, and then half of the people do. So the goal here is to let them know that you're optimistic, right? You want to work with them. You want to be able to get them as much as you can. Being a realtor, you guys all have those tools in your back pocket. That's why we're customizing and playing with these mail pieces. And then bonus money, retarget, re-engage, the no's. I'm sure a lot of you guys, are very familiar with one, retargeting people, past clients or new people or different areas, or you guys are very familiar with cold calling and talking to somebody 2, 3, 4, 5 times. I'm sure some people in here have gotten a deal from cold calling somebody so much over time in the course of 6 months or a year or 2 years. But just because somebody says no doesn't mean they're not ready. What happens in direct mail is people have held on to mail pieces and still sold their house 2 years down the road. It's a deal you can get when there's a chance you may not even be spending any money, right? So ideally, direct mail has created so much compound interest because it is a long-term game that people have gotten endless deals year after year after year because people are holding on to it. They think it's real. It's not a scam, but they think it's real in terms of knowing, oh my God, somebody actually wants to buy my house. I'm not ready yet, but I am going to hold on to this and call them when I am, right? And that's the goal. So I also wanted to kind of tie into that question as well, where, yeah, the mailing idea is a great idea, Tony. And I also want to tie into that, Claire, where you mentioned the customer could feel like this is a scam. We really put on the mail piece that, hey, it's not a real check. This is all pending a visual inspection. The only way it could look like a scam, truthfully, is if you're just not reading the mail piece. And ideally, we're not here to scare anybody. Our goal is to put our clients, whether you're a realtor or a wholesaler, in the best position possible to let people know that if you just reach out, you can at least get an idea of what your house is worth. Same thing with what Angel was doing previously, right? When he sent out his mail, he would offer $100 to chat with him. He was being sincere. Chat with me so I can at least evaluate your home and see if we can work together. Let's build a puzzle here. And then what's the $100 pitch? Um, Tony, can you go ahead and elaborate on that?
It's
Oh,
a
yeah.
question. That would be a question for me.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
The $100 is okay. So right now, a lot of the stuff that I do, it's a conversation starter, and that's what I teach. It's not my practice. His name is Craig Proctor. So when you put something out there and somebody sees you and they Google you, they'll ask you that exact question. What do you mean $100? What is that? That starts the conversation. You now meet with the client and you start presenting your value, and then they choose you as the realtor. And this is, I go on so many appointments, I just blow away so many realtors because they're not delivering value. One or two, they didn't put something out there to start the conversation. So when this piece of mail gets to the house, it's going to go straight to the decision maker, and you're basically going to offer them $100 just for an opportunity to meet with you so you can provide your services. When you run a Google ad can run you between, depending where you're at, $15 to $80 for quality leads. The difference is that this piece of mail, it looks so much better than the one I was getting from Thank Guy O, because when he showed it to me, it even impressed me. So to clarify, the $100 pitch is a conversation starter, Tony. Okay. I hope that, and if that didn't make sense, join us tomorrow at 9 o'clock, and I'm going to give you even more in depth how it works and then how you close at the appointment. And Brandon, if you have time, you should join us so you can then get a full overview. So when they call you, you know it all works together. Because I know you guys specialize in wholesaling, but I want to bring the real estate community, because the real estate community is not going to become realtors and wholesalers. All right, Brandon. So
No,
I hope that clarified the $100 pitch.
yeah, I'm all for it too. I'll definitely join that call tomorrow. And I love that you brought that up. And to let you know, Tony, it really is a conversation starter, a foot in the door. A lot of the times when you get close to that deal, the check or the mail piece is typically forgotten about at that point, right? Because now you've worked with this person, now they want to work with you. They're interested, they like what you have to offer. So it plays a big role in psychology and getting past all that. This is a little old, right? I should have changed this, but that's okay. We're still 5.0, and that's all that matters. We're happy with 5 stars. We've got about 300 something reviews, and all of them are real clients that you guys can look up. A lot of them are from different real estate groups, right? You've got Angel and Patty's group. You've got Johnny Cashflow's group. We've got Tiffany and Josh High, Brandon Brittingham, Kent Clothier, RJ Bates, Ryan Stuman, Travis Wells, and so on. We've been working with all forms of people in real estate and all forms of real estate events. So you might even see us if you guys are partaking in any real estate events in California. There are times when we go out there about 3 to 6 times a year. But overall, we're traveling across the whole United States to be sponsored and work with as many clients and put our brand out there as much as we can, because truthfully, reviews do matter. And ideally, the goal here is when we do get a review, we are working heavily with clients to make sure they have results. And if they're not, how can we fix that? One of the biggest things here that our owner preaches is that we want every client to leave happy. So our goal is to do that. Thank you. I'd love for you to book a coaching call, Todd. I actually have a link here so you can schedule it. You can go to brandon.reiprintmail.com. I have a QR code that I can still send to all of you after this, but it'll ideally lead you to scheduling a call. What I'm going to go ahead and do for everybody, if you can do that, I'll go ahead and give you 1,000 free records. I'll pull data, the first 1,000.
And Brandon, you said only one person. Now you're going to do it to everybody. That's good.
Yeah, I'll do it for everybody in here. I'll give everybody in here 1,000 free records. If you guys need it, that's okay. Totally willing to work with you. And then on top of that, one lucky person in this webinar, which this will be weekly, as long as we stay consistent with it, one lucky person will get 1,000 free mailers as well.
Oh,
So would love to chat with a lot of you, would love to better understand you and your business, crack up some jokes, and then figure out how we can tailor our direct mail to your market. So I'm really excited to see all of you succeed throughout this journey with Angel and Patty and direct mail as well.
did you see the question? Somebody wants to know, how did they get the 1,000 free records?
Let's go ahead and schedule a call and you got it. So once you go to brandon.reiprintmail.com, and then
And you know what, Robert? This would be good for you, Robert, because you want San Dimas. Okay. So this gives you an opportunity, like I am right now. You know what, Robert? At 10 o'clock, because you're in implementation, be on. Because Brandon's going to pick my market share most likely to list in Whittier. And you're going to see how we're going to go through the records. Do you have the records already, Brandon?
I'm actually getting them today.
Okay.
Yep.
Are we going to be good for 10 o'clock?
Yeah, with data. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's going to show you on how we're going to pick the most likely, because I got like 30,000 records in Whittier. We're going to narrow it down and they're going to tack it in a plan. Then we're also going to do the pre-foreclosures and we're also going to do the probates. Probably, and we're going to see how much it is, and we're going to go far out. But you're going to be able to witness it as we do this live with him, how I would be doing this. And then we're going to be modifying the piece that I utilize to real estate, because what he has is wholesaling. And so we'll work on that too, Brandon, please. All
Awesome.
right. What else do we have? Anybody else have any questions for Brandon?
I'm gonna actually go ahead and send you guys
And you know what? Now that I'm thinking, Nicole, this would be good for you, Nicole, because you're trying to target a city that is so freaking competitive, right? That I don't think anybody's doing it this way. So for all of us, if we alter what we're doing, we're adapting one more time. Or if you got, when I'll be the first one to do this. So I think this is a game changer because I've not seen wholesalers are way ahead of realtors. I'm going to tell you right now, wholesalers are just crushing us realtors because we don't adapt. So running into Brandon was an accident, and because he's a wholesaler, I mean they'll service realtors, but he's gonna one more time. I'm going to say it a commercial for Brandon. He's going to help us adapt and we're going to adapt together. So now the real estate community, only this one, Johnny's, myself, and Anthony's will be utilizing you, Brandon. So anybody have questions for Brandon?
Hey, Brandon, well, I know we got a couple of people have dual agent license here
Uh-huh.
with lenders. You can custom make that for a lender, correct? For low rate?
100%. Yeah, we actually have some custom pieces, and I'm
Okay. Because I
yeah,
wanna see if I can launch a lender one, and then you can customize for everything too for a solar company too, correct?
yeah. We actually have some
Oh,
solid.
dude. All right. Well, we need to talk.
We
Got
do.
it.
Yeah. All right.
Man,
Anybody
I
have?
can't. Oh, go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
No, you first.
No, please go ahead.
I can't thank you guys enough, man. It's been great. I also, I'm glad that more people were attempting to join. It's a beautiful thing to actually talk to a lot of people, meet a lot of you, better understand your market. And then if any of you ever once in a blue moon come across St. Louis, let me know. I'd love to actually give you a tour of direct mail, what it looks like, meeting our coaches, VP, our president, understanding real estate within. Also, keep in mind, some of us here are in real estate as well. Some of us are wholesalers. Some of us can do listings. Some of us are doing novations. So we want to be able to collab as much as we can. Very excited to strategize and work with all of you.
Brandon, can you
Awesome.
put your contact information again on the chat so they can see it and they can reach out to you? Because I think this is very important for everybody to adapt one more time. Okay. And then tomorrow, if you can, Brandon, join us. Tomorrow, what we're going to be covering is how to deliver these appointments. Because right now, all of you are showing up and it's getting easier for me because a lot of realtors aren't presenting full value to a client. So when I show up tomorrow, I'm going to share how we're doing that. When you do this, okay, the opportunity is there because sometimes the wholesalers are calling your client and they're taking cash offers. And if you don't know this, Open Door is back. Open Door is competing and taking your fucking listing and
Yep.
giving it and taking it. So you are guys, more and more realtors are going to have to get out of the business and they're going to have to go get a job, like Johnny says, right? Because we're not adapting. So right now, what I'm trying to tell you is we've modified the net sheet one more time because now I got to compete with Open Door. First, it was the wholesalers The only dangerous thing, this open door, is coming up a little higher because they're expecting the market to go up in value. So they're paying a little bit higher price for these properties. So we got to be able to compete and deliver better quality than they do. So tomorrow's class, join us. And Brandon, if you can be there, if they have more questions. Because here's what I think I heard you say. We may not have all our data today, but you'll have some of it so we can do so while we're picking our farm. And then tomorrow, maybe in front of everybody, I can modify my letter so they can see what we're going to put on that letter. Because I don't want to do the wholesale part. I think I'll lose leads that way. But if I put it as a retail, or maybe you have something already there for me to utilize. If not, I'll modify it with you. So when they get it, I get a higher conversion rate, more people raising their hand and give me
Right.
the opportunity to meet with them. Okay, Brandon?
Game on. That's awesome. Yeah, I'd love to do that, man. I'm actually emailing my team right now about pulling more data just to make sure we're prepared on that, man. So beyond excited though. Definitely get things
Hey,
rolling.
Brandon, Marthella asked the question, to get the 1,000 records, do we have to sign up for the 395? No,
Not at
right?
all. You do not have to sign up for a thing. Just have a call with me. I'd love to get to know you and I'll help you out with some records and you do some mail.
And I'll give you a general idea. What you want to do is, because the mail per piece with Brandon, and I don't own Brandon. Brandon's company is a big company, but just to give you more clarity, right now I'm spending $1.10 with Thank IO for a mail piece. With their company, it is a lot less expensive, but more custom that I'm getting from the mail house. Okay. Here I'm dealing Brandon directly, where thank God, oh, I'm to broker and they're sending it down to a vendor. So
Mhm.
with him, my piece is going to be more effective. I can talk to him more directly and I can get my pieces out with full confidence that it's going to go out there. The cost, talk to him and you're going to see it's not that bad. And the return that you're going to get, which we call the ROI, it's not going to be bad. Okay. So what I'm going to do right now at 10 o'clock, we're going to split test. We're going to do one type and a second type. Can you show them the second type that I just cringed when you showed it to me? It's that
Oh
yellow, ugly one. Show it to
yeah.
them.
Yeah.
When I saw that one, I go, I don't want to do that, but he said it was very effective, and I said, okay, well, let's give it a shot. So we're going to split test it. So can you show it to him?
Oh yeah, I can. And you're talking
That thing
about
is,
the
that
big
thing is so freaking ugly, but if it works, I'm doing it.
and you're
The
talking about
uglier the better.
yeah.
Creates attention.
uh,
You know what, Angel? I've been doing print pieces for the last 12 years because I came from the newspaper industry, right? Before I got into real estate full time. So even when I got into real estate, I was like, hey, what are we mailing out? So I've been doing print pieces to my past clients for over 12 years now. And I am sometimes amazed of the agents that I talk to that don't have anything that goes to their past clients. I'm like, really? You don't reach out to your past clients? Even a quick postcard every month, even a
Man,
little one.
you punished me because when you asked me, are you sending? I go, no, I'm that guy.
At least something, because that's how they remember
You're
me. I
right.
always tell people, even if it's trash and they throw it out, at least they saw your name.
You're right. You're right.
HomeBot is good for that.
That's what I use. I use HomeBot.
I love that. And thank you for sharing that as well. 12 years is consistent. That's
Consistent
you've
every
understood
month.
that. And that's the
And I
free
keep
that's the only
adding.
lunch you get. The only free lunch you get is consistency.
Yeah.
You
And
find it? The yellow one?
yeah,
Yeah,
you should
Carol,
have it right here.
Carol, let them know what you got out of it. The postcard, tell them the last listing you got is from the postcard. You didn't even know the client. Well,
Johnny,
you
you
didn't
talking
know
to
him.
us?
What'd he
Yes.
say?
Yeah, Carol got the last listing from a postcard.
I think you sound muffled, Johnny. Did you get mugged?
I can't hear him either. Is he mugged? He's in the trunk. He said, "Where's Johnny?"
And Angel, were you talking about the postcard or the big
Can you
one?
guys hear? Can you guys
Ye-
hear me now?
We could, Johnny. It was just a little muffled. And Brandon, no, it was not the big postcard. It's a small, tiny postcard that's yellow, and
Oh
it's
yeah.
like in handwritten. There it is, that one, that
Mhm.
thing. And that just it's hideous. And
Oh,
I'm
that is
afraid
hideous.
it's hideous, but it's
Yeah.
it's so hideous. I'll look at it. So we were going to split test that and see how it works. So
Oh, it looks like a UPS, like that when you
it does.
miss
It does. He's
UPS.
got some great pieces. So, for me, I'm re-entering the world of postcards. So we used to do a lot of this stuff in the past, but with all the technology, it kind of went away, but it looks like it's back, and specifically because a lot of realtors are getting out.
Mhm.
All right, Brandon,
But
would everybody?
one second.
Hey, Brandon,
I got
do we
questions.
have our account where we could see what's going out, what's coming up and that kind of thing, the way Thanks IO layout is kind of?
Sure. Yeah, 100%. Yep. Since we're in-house, you'll be able to see everything when it's going out,
What it looks like, the
Oh,
print and, yep.
We have
beautiful.
we have a massive proofing system, just to let everybody know. I'll make it quick for you, Angel, but the proofing system literally allows you to see everything, your data, your mail piece before it goes out. And just to let you guys know, we're more than willing, if any of you want a sample kit, I can go ahead and get you registered. I'll have my assistant reach out, and then you provide your address to her or him, and then we're able to send you guys sample kits. And that has mail pieces in there where you guys can feel it, touch it. Obviously, none of you are in financial distress and will sell, but that's okay. I just want you to have a sample kit so you understand, right? And this is the one piece I wanted to show you guys. Crazy election year came up, so we thought about creating something new. We've obviously been using it in all types of areas, but it's just kind of a cool way to let you guys know how we remain ahead of the market.
That one's
love
gonna that one's gonna piss people off, man.
Yep. Now we're gonna have to say, instead of going to thanks.io, now we have to go to Thanks Brandon.
Yes,
Thanks,
I like
Brandon.
that. Yes,
All
you're
right,
welcome.
Brandon, I gotta get on
Hey,
the other
really
meeting.
quick, I did send a text message with the link for the implementation members so we can continue with Brendan. And then Brandon, I did send you an email with the link as well. So you can go ahead and join us. Thank you for being on with us today.
Yeah.
Yes, Brandon, I need
One quick question, please.
Mike, you're
Brandon.
gonna meet us right now. You're on the next meeting, so he's coming with us too, Brandon. So Michael, you can ask Brandon more questions there on the next one at 10.
Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Don't worry, we got you. So all right, everybody, would you mind thanking Brandon?
Thank you,
you,
Brandon.
Thank you, Brandon.
Thank you, Brandon.
Brandon, let's go,
Thank
Brandon.
All right, everybody. We'll see you in the next meeting around 10 o'clock with Brandon. That's for the acceleration members. We'll see you over there. Bye,
Bye,
everybody.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.